Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. We have reached the fourth verse of the chapter of Al-Fatiha, the first chapter of the Quran. And this verse is Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. It is to you that we worship and you that we seek help. We see from the last verses that were mentioned, the names and attributes, or some names and attributes are mentioned of the creator of the heavens and the earth. And based on these names and attributes, we understand that they are complete, have no room for infallibility, that they are perfect. And mankind is totally opposite, that we have faults and that we are deficient. So based on this, we start to speak about an action that emanates from us towards him because of these characteristics. The first of them being, that was mentioned, worship. It is to you that we worship. And in this verse in Arabic, it is specifying worship only for Allah, designated worship only for Allah. So the aspect of showing reverence and love, undivided attention, spiritual attention is to the Creator, is to the Lord of the worlds, is to the Beneficent, the Merciful, is to the owner of the Day of Judgment, Allah, the Creator. We want to touch on one very important aspect of Islam, a distinguishing factor of Islam, the aspect of worship. The concept of worship in Islam has been beautifully defined as anything that God is loved and is pleased with from the actions that are apparent and that which is hidden. So we see an action of the slave. If he does an action that Allah is pleased with, then this is worship, whether it is an action that is apparent or not. So an action that is not apparent, that is hidden, is love. If you love Allah more than you love anything else, this is worship. An action that is apparent, that we can see, is prayer. When you pray to Allah, this is an aspect of worship. But sometimes those actions of the heart can be diverted to something else, such as love of money, such as love of women or love of men, love of children, love of your culture, love of your nationality, love of your own self. This type of love, which comes from a desire, or which is a form of a desire, that could be greater than the love of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. But when one recollects and realizes that the Creator of the heavens and the earth is the one that created these things that you have diverted your love to, this is where one has their God consciousness and diverts that love back to Allah, the Creator, and specifies that love to him and prioritizes it over all the other forms of love or all the other objects of love. We do not prohibit one to love these objects, but when these objects have precedence and they are greater in the eyes of the one that loves them, this is where it can become problematic. So these aspects of the heart, love is one of them. When we see fear also, fear of creation and knowing that Allah is the one that created it, and having more fear of this created thing more than the fear of Allah. Yes, there is a natural fear. If I was to see a snake on the ground, I would fear that snake. This is a natural fear, and Allah has created this natural instinct within us. But if there are things of the unseen, such as ghosts, ghouls, goblins, gremlins, etc., even of the unseen forces that we believe, which are called the jinn, we believe that they are present. If we fear them more than we fear the Creator of these things, this is where it can become problematic in our belief system, in our creed. So, fear is another aspect of worship. Seeking blessings from the Creator is what is recommended and obligatory upon the Muslim. So, before the Muslim eats, what do we say? Bismillah. Before we do anything, we say Bismillah, in the name of Allah. Seeking blessings from the Creator, not seeking blessings from any prophet, not seeking blessings from any spirit or any angel, because they are of creation. They are of creation. So these are actions of the heart that are not apparent. From the actions that are apparent, prayer. We only pray to Allah. We do not pray to any form of creation. We do not pray to any prophets. We do not pray to any angels. We do not pray to any statues or objects that symbolize forms of creation or symbolize anyone or anything. We only pray to the Creator. When it comes to buying and selling, being honest, giving a person their due right, giving them their money, paying charity, these are apparent actions. if that apparent action that you have done connects with that which is in the heart of sincerity towards the Creator, this is worship. Taking care of your children, going and finding a job in order to support your family and your children, this can be a form of worship if you are doing it to provide for your children and provide for your family, which in Islam is an obligatory aspect of the life of the Muslim. Going to sleep, eating, all of these apparent actions can be forms of worship if one has the correct intention. If one has the correct intention, this is what is important. And these are the two conditions of an action to be accepted: that it is in accordance to the Prophet's actions, peace and blessings be upon him, if they are actions of worship, and that one has sincerity. So in other words, what are you doing and who are you doing it for? What are you doing and who are you doing it for? If you're doing an action that is Islamic, to where it is an action of goodness, or if it's an action of specified worship that it is in accordance to the Sunnah, the traditions of the Prophet, this is what is recommended. And who are you doing it for? If you're doing it for the Creator, if you're doing it for God, for the Creator of the heavens and the earth, this is what is recommended. So, it is to you we worship, and you we seek for help. Seeking help is one aspect of the many aspects of worship. As we have love, we have fear, we have awe, we have seeking help. Seeking help is a great aspect of worship because they are aspects of the human being that they are not capable of performing. Actions that a man or a woman is not capable of performing, and only Allah is capable of doing that. Sometimes there are actions that mankind are able to perform, but it is important for the slave of Allah, the Muslim, to turn towards Allah first and recognize He is the one that makes mankind able to perform those actions. Again, understanding the completeness of Allah and the perfection of His actions. So when one seeks help from Allah, the Exalted, this is an aspect of worship. When one loses their job, when one becomes Muslim and loses their friends and family members because of that choice that they made, you seek help in Allah to make your heart content with the current situation. When one loses their job and their economic status is at a low, they turn to Allah and seek His help to make them firm in their situation, content, patient, to make them a person of determination to deal with that situation, to be a person of action to make their situation better, as opposed to being a person of depression, which could possibly lead to despair. When one is in a time of hardship, they seek help from Allah before seeking help from mankind. So if you find out a certain situation has happened to you that deals with another individual, you put your hands up to Allah first and you ask Him to help you in the situation. You ask Him to help another individual that is afflicted in their situation. And then you take the means of which Allah has given you physically or mentally or spiritually to help that individual. So turning to Allah first is what is important. And that's why the context of the verse or the linguistical makeup is that we say to you. In Arabic, it is specifying and it is designating Him as the object of worship. Is that it is Allah, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, that we worship by Himself and no one else. And in result, brothers and sisters, this verse is a verse that exemplifies a tawheed, which is in English, making Allah one in our worship. And remember, worship, the definition is anything that Allah loves and is pleased with from the actions that are apparent or non-apparent. May Allah make us of those who worship Him in secret and in public. May He make us of those who have integrity. May He make us of those of people that are influenced, and make us of people that are strong in our beginning stages of our faith. May Allah reward us all and make us of the slaves of His worship. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.